Now we are going to see that in real time, our user interface. So, in order to create a contact workspace, you need to click on Create, then Contact Workspace Procurement. There will be 3 types of contact workspaces. One is procurement, second is sales and third is internal. So what is internal? Internal is basically HR related contact which you can create with your employee and employer. That is also not in our scope. Ariba provides that functionality also. We're going to discuss only on procurement-related contact. Similarly, you can also have sales contacts created in Ariba. That is sales management, only nothing related to procurement. In our scope will be contact workspace procurement. So in order to do that, create contact workspace. We have also seen one more model where, from your sourcing project, after you click on Award, it will open any of the sourcing projects. Take a sourcing model. So open any of the sourcing project which is in. Let's go select the status. OK. The best method. More than that will be go to your tags. Go to sourcing. OK. From your event status, you can see this pending selection to select any of your sourcing project which is in pending selection. These are all pending selection. Let's open any of the one. You can monitor. So go to Award. Click on Award. We need to give awarding. Just select something. OK. Actually here, you can see this. This is invited, but we did not give any responses. We have taken a bad selection. Let's select one more. You can take completed ones. So once you see this completed in our column, you see contract, create new contract. By clicking on this, it will create a contract. Workspace procurement only by default. Create new contract. OK. You can see this, create contract workspace procurement, but here it is also enabled the supplier name which we want to select it. And that also give the line item details coming from your sourcing project. So we cancel this. We'll directly create one contract workspace from Ariba screen. Create contract workspace procurement. Just one quick query. I am audible, clear right? Because I'm using my hands. So if there is a disturbance, I can turn off. Now you need to give title of your contract workspace. For example, laptop contract test supplier. You can provide more information. Suppose you are creating a contract for bigger project or something. You can add additional information in the description field. Related ID. This is a kind of a suppose you are having external environment, you want to use that related ID information here, then you can use this information. Maybe I'll just mention something related from my SAP. I'll just say 910000895. Something like that you can. Copy from contract. Suppose you created any existing contract. You want to utilize that contract information. If you're creating second copy of this one, you can use this option. Otherwise you can ignore that. We discussed about test project. Combined span. This is A. I think this is a customization. Let's take. Once I click on Combined Span Leads, Creators Release Upgrade. So the people we are creating particular contract can be combined. And this is for customization generally. We don't see this in a standard environment. Timing, we can ignore it. Base language. This is standard. Hierarchical type. This is, I think I said. I have explained. Master agreement, sub-agreement, standalone agreement. Master agreement is basically at the top level. You create an agreement and sub-agreement is specifically related to the one on that which you're creating. You might create a master agreement as a standard policy. For example, you'll be having at the top level. You agreed for a payment terms, you agreed for anti-bribery law, you agreed for damages, you agreed for quality concerns. You agreed for any other information. So once the master agreement is created, when you're creating an agreement for laptop services, so during laptop services, specifically related to laptop services, how the quality, who has to contact 24/7, who has to reach in the event of the problem, whether the delivery will be available. These are all specifically related to commodity code called computers. And you're creating something for machinery. The machinery will have who will be the engineer? The engineer, availability, what is the offline support? What are the consumers will be used? So those terms will be different, these terms will be different. So when you're creating such a sub-agreement, you can reference to your parent agreement and you can create. So parent agreement, the clauses are same. For any type of commodity code, it is same. So that way you can use and also you want to make spend against one particular master agreement. So this is for something. Similarly, if you are spending on project, again the project, whatever you want to include, you can have that as your master agreement. So master agreement is your parent agreement, sub-agreement is your child agreement. Whenever I'm clicking on sub-agreement, system will ask for a parent agreement. Whenever I'm creating master agreement, it will not ask for any reference agreement. For standalone agreement also. This is irrespective of these two functionality. You can directly create an agreement. I will select sub-agreement, then you can see immediately. It will ask me, what is my parent agreement? If I select master agreement, it won't ask. It will just select only the master agreement. But next time when you're creating it, you can difference your master agreement as your parent agreement. Any sub-agreement which you're creating, you need to create master agreement first. So let's use standalone agreement. Let's create the supplier which we are having. Selecting supplier. You might have different affected parties, like your vendor parties or something, invoicing parties and other parties. We can include that if you're having different supplier. Otherwise, mostly these both will be same.